Good afternoon and welcome to Fast Horses Today. Today is Thursday. It's the start of a new week over at Del Mar and it is August 15th. Well, let's get started here. I like the late pick 5 over at Del Mar, which starts in the fourth race. Now, the fourth race has approximate post time about 5:30 here Central Time, so that's about 3:30 there in the Pacific Time Zone. Fourth race is a maiden claimer, 50,000 claimer, 5.5 on the furlongs on the dirt. This is for California bred boys. So these are 2-year-olds. These are horses that some of them have been running in special weights. Some of them are first starters, and maybe this is the way they're training. That trainers are just getting realistic and putting them in for a 50,000 tag. So that makes me think that, a lot of these horses probably don't have much talent if they're giving up on them so quickly. So I've got 4 horses here that I want to put in to get this pick 5 started. I'm going to first put in the 1 who is Glorious Oscar for Hector Palma. Now, Hector Palma seems to do a lot of great work with this level of a horse and, the Calbreds and the Calbred claimers, maiden claimers. So this is a first starter from the rail. Horse shows some okay works. Maybe it's just a matter of, Hector having this horse ready to go. Horse is 8-1, so why not give this horse a shot? I'm also going to go with the 4 horse who is Whiskey in a Teacup. Whiskey in a Teacup has run with a little bit better for 3 of his starts. Now, he's running special weights 3 times. This horse is 3-1 in the program. JJ Hernandez takes over for Jeremy Laprida, who seems to be the Laprida off angle. It's probably a good move where, you're playing horses that Laprida has been riding. Jock switch is probably positive. Laprida did struggle at Santa Anita as well as Del Mar. This horse showed a little bit of talent in the special weight rank. So, I'll put this horse in at 3-1 to try to get this pick 5 started. I'm also going to put the 8 horse who is Just Trust Me. This is for Kelly Bainham and Tyler Bays. Now, I know this connection goes back a ways. Bays has ridden for Bainham, over the years. This horse also ran in special weights. Last time out, this horse did get a run over the Del Mar dirt course. Talamo rode the horse, got beat by a neck. Tyler Bays takes over, as I mentioned. I thought this horse ran a nice race, and if he duplicates it, it should be a factor here in this race at 5.5 furlongs. And finally, I'm going to put the 9 horse, who is It's Thirsty Time for Steve Miotti, Kyle Frey aboard. Now, this horse also has run a couple times in special weights. He's run with some pretty good 2-year-olds, in the Calbred ranks. He got beat by Case Hit, and that seems, to be a live race where Case Hit has run. He also got beat by Last Call Zonlo, Last Call Zonlo also ran a pretty good race over at Los Al. He didn't duplicate that in a subsequent race at Del Mar, but 12-1, this horse seems like he could figure. So I've got the 1, 4, 8, and 9 to get the pick 5 started. Let's move over to the 5th race. The 5th race is a Calbred non-winner of 1 allowance race. We're putting them at 5 furlongs on the grass. So they got a pretty good field here. Nice to see a couple new faces here. I see the 2 horse Straight Luck. Phil D'Amato takes over. They brought this horse over from Texas, so they picked up a Calbred along the way. We'll see how competitive he is. I don't have him today, but nice to see a new face. I do have 3 horses here. I'm going against the favorite, who is the 5 horse Disco Tribute for Craig Delassie. Now, it's almost like go against Craig Delassie at your own buyer beware, caveat emptor there, because Craig Delassie has been doing pretty well. I'm just going to go against this horse because I feel like this horse, does belong in this race, but I like some of the younger horses with a little less experience, but I feel like they have a lot more upside. So I've got the 6 horse who is Known Idea. Known Idea is actually the program favorite. Disco Tribute is 5-2. Known Idea is 2-1. So I'm going against the second choice here. So I'm going to go with Known Idea, 2-1 in the program. John Sadler here is the trainer. JJ Hernandez takes over. Now it looks like Hernandez has a lot of live mounts today. I like the fact that Hernandez takes over for Barrios. I feel like that's a good jock switch. Hernandez did ride the horse one time back at Santa Anita in the spring, got beat a neck in an allowance race at 6 furlongs on the turf. I think this horse just, has some ability and should be a factor in this type of race. I'm also going to go with the 7 horse, who is Chrome Flash for Paula Capestro, and Ricardo Gonzalez takes the call again. Now, this horse I didn't have last time. He broke his maiden at 5 furlongs and ran an outstanding race off a pretty long layoff. Paula Capestro had this horse ready to go off the bench, and horse ran a really nice race. So I'm thinking maybe possibly could duplicate that. If so, it'll certainly put this horse, right there near the wire. So I've got the 7 Chrome Flash at 6-1. And I'm finally going to put the 9 horse, who is Lemon Sushi, for Val Brinkerhoff. Now, I know I did play this horse last time, and this horse ended up being the favorite and got beat on the wire. I thought the horse ran a really, really tough race. And, this horse certainly has talent, has shown some good races in the Del Mar turf, but always seems to figure out how to get beat. And we see these types of horses all the time. And, it's tough to single them, but, you put them in and it's hope for that's the day that they figure out a way to get to the wire first. So Kyle Frey has ridden this horse well. Horse has shown some winning type races, but always, figures out a way to somehow come second or get beat near the wire. So I am going to, put him in, but as one of 3 horses. I've got the 6, 7, and the 9. All right, now let's move over to the next race. Next race is the 6th race. This is a maiden claimer at 50,000 at 6.5 furlongs. And, again, these are some horses who have run with special weights, some big purchase prices that they're just maybe kind of giving up on or, trying to be realistic and putting them in for 50. I've got 3 horses here as well as I do have a win bet. I'm going to put the 2 horse who is Bowtie Boys for Tim Yakteen. And Ayuso takes over. Now, this horse has been running in some claiming races, just kind of running some even races, and, given a bit of a layoff, so maybe this horse might fire fresh here. 12-1, why not take a shot here in a field that I feel like doesn't have a whole lot of talent, and we might see a price here. So I've got the 2. I've also got the 7, who is Broadway Unions for Adam Kitchenman. Joe Talamo takes the call. So Kitchenman has actually done pretty well here at Del Mar. Limited amount of starters. He's got 2 wins out of 7 starts. He's got a couple other nice finishes. And I'm also going to make a win bet here on Broadway Unions. He's 10-1 in the program. As I mentioned, Talamo takes the call. This horse, has run in a couple condition allowance races where they put in a condition horse can get claimed, or if it's not bought at auction at a certain amount. So a little bit different than a special weight, but he's also run in special weight races. I just like the company this horse has kept in his life. He got beat by Sir Atticus, got beat by Dr. Venkman, got beat by Parenting, and those are 3 really nice horses. I mean, we're talking about Dr. Venkman going to probably go on the Pacific Classic, and Parenting also going to be in the Pacific Classic, and is probably Bob Baffert's best 3-year-old. So Broadway Unions drops into 50,000 here. I think he's been working well, comes in fresh. Talamo, who I'm not the biggest fan of Talamo, however, I'll give him his due. He's been riding a little bit better and getting some wins. So I'm going to put Talamo in. I'm going to bet this horse to win at 10-1 because I expect a nice price. That is Broadway Unions. Then I'm also going to put the 9 horse, who is Fast Chaz, for Doug O'Neill. Doug O'Neill makes a few changes here. He drops this horse into claiming. He puts the blinkers on, and he also gets a 7-pound apprentice, Orontes, on this horse. Now, this horse is 3-1, so he's certainly not a secret by any means, but looks like Doug O'Neill is trying to figure out a way to get this horse a win by dropping him, taking weight off him, seeing if he's best. Looks like this race is a little bit void of speed. This horse, even though coming off a longer race, I think can show some speed, and that might be kind of the game plan there, and see if the weight break helps. So I've got the 2, 7, and 9, and I've got the win bet on the 7, Broadway Unions. All right, now let's go to the next race, which is the 7th race. 7th race is another California allowance race, first level allowance race, 5 furlongs on the grass. And, this is a race of, this is for the fillies. So they had the boys earlier. This is on the filly side here. Now I've got 2 horses here, and what I think is kind of an evenly matched field. I've got the 3 horse was Dory Miller. Now this is for George Parabon. Now here's another Laprida off angle. Laprida had been riding this horse the last several times, about 5 or 6 races. Laprida's been riding him. Fresu takes the call here. Now this horse has run some races where probably could have gotten wins, at this level and a little under this level in a starter allowance or in a claimer. But I think this horse certainly fits. 9-2. I like the jock switch. And, maybe George Parabon gets a allowance win here. It would be kind of nice for his barn. So I've got the 3 horse, who is Dory Miller. And I also have the 7 horse, who is Diamond Bar Gal, for Brian Corner. Hernandez takes the call here. Now, Hernandez rode this horse last year. This horse has been off for a long time, almost a year off. The horse had 2 starts last year, both at Del Mar, both at 5 furlongs on the grass. First time out, ran just kind of a nice even race up against a nice winner that day in Diamonds Dancing. Then this horse came back to break her maiden in a really nice fashion. So apparently something happened because we haven't seen her since. But I like the works, and I also have no problem playing a horse off a long layoff that goes into a turf sprint. I just think, good trainers have these horses ready to go. This horse is 4-1. We might see a really nice effort here by Diamond Bar Gal with Hernandez on the horse. So got the 3 and the 7 here. All right, now let's go over to the last race of the day. Last race of the day, it's the 8th race. This is a mile and a 16th on the dirt. This is a maiden claimers, 20,000, so this is kind of the lower rung. But I'm giving Del Mar kudos for making this race a mile and a 16th. I'm not too sure why they don't do this more often. They run those mile races, and we've seen whoever gets to the first turn, it's a huge advantage. So why not put these horses a little longer? What's a 16th of a mile going to do? It's not going to hurt a horse, I don't think. But I like this, mile and a 16th. I've got 2 horses here that I'm going to put in. I'm sure the one horse is going to be a single on many tickets. That's Triple Pass, 7-5 in the program from Michael McCarthy. And Juan Hernandez takes the call. It's a jock switch. Cedillo rode the horse. Hernandez takes him. Not that Cedillo did anything wrong with the horse, because I think he rode the horse just fine last time. Now, Michael McCarthy has been pretty effective with horses that he's dropped from, this is a big purchase price. This horse was a $275,000 purchase. He didn't work out. They put him in for maiden 20s last time. This horse ran a really good race, went up against a speed horse in JB Strikes Back, and that horse just took the lead and was really tough to beat on a track that was really just, gravitating towards that, where horses were getting the lead on 2 turns and they just weren't stopping. I thought this horse ran very well. Just a matter of, we'll see, is this horse talented enough to duplicate the effort? There is a reason why he's running for 20,000. So I do have Triple Pass. I'm also going to put the 2 horse, who is Supreme Court. Supreme Court is comes under the Francisco Garcia barn. Garcia has been the trainer. Apparently Mike Pipey got pinched for something. Not exactly sure what happened there, but he's not training right now. So Francisco Garcia, who's probably an assistant, works in his stable, has these horses. This horse I've been running with a little bit better with 50,000 claimers back in the spring, summer at Santa Anita. Makes a couple changes here. Drops down to the 20 level. Puts blinkers on, and gets a 7-pound apprentice as well in Orontes. So, it's again like a couple races ago, I had mentioned O'Neill was making some changes. Looks like the Garcia barn is also doing the same, trying to figure out a way that can get this horse to the wire. I think Supreme Court looks like, could run up close and, maybe finish up strong. Certainly is bred, to be able to go this distance, and has run with a little better. So maybe the dip in class, horse is 12-1. We might see him try and cook it up early in this kind of race. Maybe everyone realizes speed is really, deadly here. You might see a few horses go. Maybe a horse like Supreme Coast, could finish up strong. So I've got the 1 and the 2. All right, now let's recap this ticket here at Del Mar. So here at Del Mar, it starts in the 4th race with the late pick 4. I've got the 1, 4, 8, 9 with the 6, 7, 9 with the 2, 7, 9. And I also have a win bet on the 7 horse. That is Broadway Unions. That's for Adam Kitcheman and Joe Talamo riding. With the 3, 7. With the 1 and 2 at the end. Now that ticket comes out to be $72. And, if that's your speed, feel free to jump in. If you want to add or subtract, you do what you need to do. If you want to play pick 3s within it or play the pick 4 within it, you can do that as well. Certainly playing pick 3s within this sequence, can certainly pay off well for you. So whatever it is you decide to do, I wish you the best of luck. I also wish great trips, because as we've seen, great trips really do the work there at Del Mar, whether it's on the grass or it's on the dirt, sprints or long. Let's get some good trips at Del Mar. It certainly works out. And I'm going to wish everyone there at Del Mar a great, safe day of racing. So as always, I hope you can hit the subscribe button for me. The subscribe button doesn't cost you anything. It just puts you on the feed. So when new content comes up, you get it served to you. Like, dislike, let's create a discussion. Thank you so much for watching, and we will be back tomorrow with coverage from Del Mar. Thank you.